been going through another cycle of just optimizing everything and trying to be really efficient and just not waste any time. And I think that I've reached a level. I think I finally found how obsessed. I don't want to be obsessed, but like how efficient you need to be if you actually want to achieve a lot in your lifetime. Like it's just orders of magnitude more efficient than you think when you start. Or when what I thought when I started, I thought like just being a little bit more efficient was going to get me ahead of the pack, so to speak, and I was going to do all this incredible stuff. But as I've like tweaked my efficiency and like put all of these accountability measures in place, by that I mean like using screen time apps for your phone. I use Stay Free, not an ad, just to measure how much time I'm spending on different applications, and you can actually set a time limit for different apps. My time limit for Facebook is 2 minutes because I hate Facebook. It's just constantly robbing me of my happiness and just making me engage with things that I have no business engaging with. Somehow the algorithm seems to find a way to put something in your feed, or somebody commented on blah blah, and then all of a sudden you're down this rabbit hole. And yeah, so not a fan of Facebook. But yeah, using apps like that to make sure that and when you put a time limit on an app, it's like every time you open that app, you're going to make it count. Like if I've got 15 minutes for Instagram, then like I'm only going to open it if I'm replying to messages, or if I'm posting something, or I'm like using it constructively. Like every minute's got to count, sort of thing. So I'm experimenting with that at the moment. And even like my workouts, like my accountability, that thing that I figured out with that is like set a timer every time you finish whatever you're doing. And as soon as that timer goes off, you've got to do the next thing. Doesn't matter what is going on. Like, because I used to also start playing on my phone and wasting time looking at Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Now it's like I'm not doing that anyway. Like I've made this decision that I'd rather be doing absolutely nothing than be on my phone. Like just a concrete, easy to like that's clarity right there. Like I'd rather do nothing. I'd rather lay in bed all day than be on my phone. Like it's so much better for my mental health and for my goals and shit, because every time I just let myself mindlessly use my phone, it doesn't just eat up my time in the moment, it eats up my awareness when I put the phone down. Like I've got to process all of those emotions. I've got to like let go of all those thoughts. I've got to, like I might end up having a discussion with somebody then about something that I saw on Facebook, and then there's a whole thing there, and then they're reacting to the thing that I was reacting to, and like we just like I think even using these efficiency control measures that I'm using, like I think we underestimate how much of our time we're wasting and how much of our awareness is like constantly hijacked. And so it's weirdly like I have a bit of an obsession with like measuring and numbers and like scoring myself in different ways, and it comes in handy for things like this. Like I just want to maximize efficiency. Yeah, so that's two ways that I do it. I'll set myself very clear goals, like got a few new books coming, and I'll probably set myself like read 3 chapters a day, or maybe more, maybe less. Like I'll usually make the decision after I try to read the book and feel, if it's a really grindy read, I'm not going to try to force myself to read heaps of it. I'll read that one slower, and I'll probably read something pleasurable that's easy to digest alongside of it. So I'll read like 1 chapter of that, 4 chapters of the one that feels good, even though the one that's harder to read is probably the one that I need the information from, the one that I'm going to learn the most from. once I actually do consume and digest that information. So that's another efficiency hack. This is an efficiency hacks video. That's what it seems to be. These are never intended to be advice or guidance. It's just me expressing what I'm thinking and feeling in the present moment. But yeah, like, don't just try to make yourself do a bunch of stuff that you don't want to do, because that's going to wreck your efficiency because you're not going to be motivated. You need to find stuff that you're motivated to do that gets you results that you can measure, so that you can see yourself improving and get excited about that, because getting excited about the results that you're actually getting is so much more powerful than psyching yourself up watching YouTube videos, or like whatever you do to convince yourself that it's a good idea to put in the work. The best motivator is like seeing yourself growing, seeing yourself getting the result. And if you're not getting the result, why? That's what you got to ask yourself. Like, if you go into the gym every day and you're not like losing weight, gaining weight, whatever it is that you're trying to do, getting the shape that you want. If you're not, like, a lot of people are really interested in like sculpting their body, like getting a smaller waist, a bigger booty, like whatever it is, if you're not getting the result, why not? And that comes into this realm of efficiency, because now we're looking at accountability, and I think accountability is one of the most important aspects of efficiency. Holding yourself accountable, like I said with the timer, when you're doing a workout, like that timer goes off every 3 minutes, you're doing something, you're starting something. Because I think that's one of the things that we struggle with, right? Like, anybody can do stuff, but this stopping and starting and showing up consistently every time is the thing that we struggle with. We'll get ourselves all motivated and we'll go to the gym once, and then we'll be like, okay, cool, I did that. But we've got to actually plan and schedule and set up programs and routines for ourselves that we want to carry out. And we need to make sure that they're actually positive and they're actually serving us, and we're not just programming ourselves for things that aren't actually, they're just robbing us of more time and we're not getting the result. So like, if we're not getting the result from all of the hard work that we're doing, why not? And then you might have to be a little bit strategic with your efficiency. Like, one thing that I've learned about being super efficient, holding myself accountable and getting the results that I actually want, is I need to learn a lot more. Like, I actually don't know how to do things efficiently. I don't know how to hold myself accountable. I don't know how to get the best results in all of these different areas that I'm interested in getting results in. So sometimes it might be better to stop banging your head against the wall, putting in these huge hours trying to get the result. If you're not getting it, like, go read some books, go watch some videos, like how-to videos, like actually get the information of how to do this correctly. Because doing things poorly is going to rob you of efficiency. Doing things wrong, doing things incorrectly, that's like, there's no point. Like, you may as well not do it. You want to be doing things correctly. And that's like, this is a really cool insight that I got when I was 17 years old. One of my first jobs, I was trying to do a really good job, trying to keep up with everybody else. And somebody, like a supervisor, told me, like, just focus on doing it well. The speed will come with time. And that just like really sunk in. And I started to focus, and I started to just like do the job, like just at my pace. And I was just like so quickly I got faster, because instead of like being in my head all anxious and trying to figure it all out, like, oh no, what about all these judgments, like I'm not keeping up with everybody else. It was just like I was fully like in the moment, just like focused on what I was doing in front of me. So the insight is like, focus on what you're doing, and the speed will come with time. Like, the results will come with time. If you want to do 100 push-ups and you can only do 2, just do the 2. Focus on doing the 2. Do the 2 every day. Like, do the 2 every 5 minutes for an hour every day. Things like that. And don't psych yourself out because you're not at the level that you want to be at when you start, because there is the absolute biggest death to efficiency is giving up. stopping, quitting, just straight up throwing in the towel. Of course, that's the ultimate death to efficiency. Nothing could be more deadly to efficiency than ceasing to try. Man. And I think, yeah, we psych ourselves out a lot because we want this result, we want it now, and we see everybody else got all these false narratives about how good everybody else is doing and how they're crushing it. And even the things that I'm saying in this video about how you can be more efficient and you can get more done and like you should do this, this, and this. It sounds so simple because I'm just saying what I've already done over the course of years, like developing this stuff, developing these habits and these thought forms, and like developing like the way that I approach life. So like it's easy to watch something and just be like, oh yeah, I should just be able to be like Kai. Like I should be able to just like set a timer and show up and quit social media and like not do anything that's detrimental to my health at all. Like quit alcohol, just eat healthy every day. Have like got like a mad feed going in the slow cooker right now. Like just like the things that all accumulate over time. You can't just like draw out a map of like everything that you wish you were and embody it in 1 second. If that was the case, then we would all be awesome. It would all just be who we want to be because it would be that easy. But really, like you just got to do that one thing at a time. Like maybe just learn to cook one meal, like one healthy meal. Like buy a blender, like start having some fresh fruit smoothies, or you know, and like who knows. The other thing is, like I said, like you don't know how to do things really well. You might have to first get a bunch of books about nutrition and health and like go through the whole arduous process of figuring out like what is actually good for me and my body, and like what am I actually going to subscribe to here, because there seems to be 50 billion diets and nutrition plans and things out there, and they all seem to contradict each other. But like spoiler alert, I think it all comes back to balance. Like you don't want to do anything that's extreme unless you're trying to go for an extreme result, or like you have a particular value or belief that means that you want to live your life that way, you know. So but like don't just blindly subscribe to somebody else's extreme lifestyle thinking that's going to get you what they have, because if it's not aligned with you, it's going to drain your motivation very quickly. Like you're not going to want to do it, you're not going to want to show up. It's not your lifestyle, it's not your dreams, it's not your values, it's not your strengths. Like the things that you're naturally good at might not be aligned with that. So we've got to figure all this stuff out. We've got to figure out who we are, and it starts with like these one simple thing at a time. Like focus on what's in front of you. The speed will come with time. That's the insight, the main insight from this video. Just do what you're doing well. I think I saw another video online years ago. It was like these two brothers had to build this wall, and the father like knocked down the front wall of the shop, and like you two boys are going to rebuild this wall. And they're like, we'll never be able to rebuild that whole wall. And the father says, like, just focus on laying the first brick, the best that you could ever lay that brick. And then when you get to the second brick, just focus on laying the second brick, the best that you could ever lay that brick. And just continue that process. And before you know it, you've built this like brand new wall that's like way better than the old one. It all comes back to that insight, that simple insight. Like just do the thing that you're doing right now the best that you can do it. And like don't let the anxiety, the projections of the future suck you into the future, or the fears of the past and things that have happened before drag you down into the past. Like just be in that moment. You know you can do the thing in front of you really well. If you can stay in that moment and you can just fucking do it and continue, you program yourself by showing yourself that it's true. So if you, at the moment, when you begin something new, you have no evidence to support the belief that you can do this. But every time you do it, you have a little bit more evidence. Like this is what I do. I'm somebody who runs 2 kilometers every day because I did it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then like 6 months down the track, I've done it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like every week for however long, you know, like that's how we get to these points. It's not Like we just suddenly be amazing. And it's just like, it's so boring and mundane how you actually achieve things. It's like, it's not romantic or sexy or profound at all. It's just like everyday shit. It's just do what you know you need to do right now and repeat and repeat and repeat. And if you can just wrap your head around that, this is like one lens that you could apply to your entire life and reality that would lead you to just incredible amounts of success in whatever way you want to be successful. Like whatever you choose to focus on using these insights, you will get what you want, you'll create what you want. But if you keep fantasizing about all these incredible things that you feel like you'll never be, which is another trap, believing that you can't do it, or like disqualifying yourself before you've even tried, like with the, if you can only do 2 push-ups when you want to do 100, so you disqualify yourself before you even try because you're like, how am I going to go from 2 to 100? So you just like, again, that the greatest death to efficiency is giving up and just not trying in the first place, throwing in the towel. But you can do anything. It might take you longer, it might be quicker for you. Like you don't know till you actually put the time in. So step 1, decide what you want. Step 2, learn how to do it well. Step 3, focus on doing it once well. Like don't focus on doing it perfectly 100 times. Just do it once well, and then do it again well, and like repeat. And then I don't know why I'm doing steps right now. It's just how it's coming out of me in the moment. But yeah, this is what's been the absolute focal point of my awareness, especially today, but lately. So I just thought I'd jump on and share. And hopefully somebody has some breakthrough epiphany or insight, or just a good old laugh at like the absurdity of what it means to be a human being. Click the like button for me if you got anything out of it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you're working on. That would be pretty cool. Just remind me though, like if you're responding to something that I say in the video, like make it clear, because I can't remember what I said by the time you guys see these things. And also don't forget to check out the links in the description. There's some cool stuff going on usually, and it'll be updated as I go on in the future. I update like all of the links in the description and everything in the future, looking back through the past content. So yeah, I'll see you when I'm looking at you.